What is going on, Colts Nation? He is Jamal, and I'm Eric, your co-host of the Colts Cast.
What up?
Jamal. I bet everyone thought we quit the pod. It's been a minute,
Yeah,
right?
it's been a little minute. It's been a minute.
It's been a long minute since we hopped on. My family moved, so I've been just
Hey.
doing some things right now. Took a ginormous amount of my time. Still haven't fully settled in, but here we are. I built one cabinet, Jamal. I ain't gonna lie, I got tired after that. So I'll say. I'll set up all my Colts gear later, but we had to get back on the pod. And Jamal, you already know I am deeply saddened because we haven't been able to do a mock draft in quite some time.
I know. God
Yeah,
knows.
I've been having heart palpitations just thinking about it. So here we are, the Colts Cast final mock draft 3.0, all 7 rounds. No trades for us here because we cannot predict whether or not Chris Ballard will trade out of the first round for 5 additional day 3 picks in 2028. Now, he may. I mean, Chris Ballard likes to trade down. It's just, when you trade down, you have to find a suitor, and this draft, we'll talk about it. Jamal, you ready to kick this thing off?
Let's get it rolling.
Man, who we got?
We got to hit that like subscribe button first. Y'all know what time it is. Hit the button.
That's the
drop
first round
comment
pick?
below. That's the first round pick. If you want, no, I'm just kidding. But no, drop comment below. Let us know what y'all think about this mock draft we're about to do. Let us know who you take first round.
Yeah.
Let us know you take 7th round. About to have some fun and introduce y'all to some people maybe you're not aware of. And as always, introduce some people that we may not be aware of, guys. We like to interact and we enjoy reading all the comments that come along with this. So let's talk about it, Eric.
Let's talk about it. With the 14th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan. So, Jamal, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Which tight end in the last 3 years broke 400 receiving yards for the Indianapolis Colts in any season? I'll give you the choices. Kylan Granson, Jelani Woods, Mo Alley Cox, Will Mallory, or Drew Ogletree. Who are you thinking?
Probably none of them.
You're absolutely correct, Jamal. The answer is none.
Go, baby.
The Colts don't have a tight end one. I don't care that we've re-signed Mo Alley Cox to a 1-year deal. That's fine and dandy. We still need a guy to take this offense to another level. And hot take here, Jamal, I prefer Colston Loveland to Tyler Warren here. That's going to make a lot of people jump in their boots, but I'm going to explain why. Loveland is that true wide tight end. And the Colts, we always have these tight ends that we've talked about the last few years that like, oh, they can't block. They can't. So you get a guy who can play in line, who can block in the run and pass game, especially in the run game. Like our offense is catered and centered around Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson. But Loveland, he's just well-rounded enough to be able to win at all 3 levels of the field and still be a reliable option for Richardson. I will say he's not a true wrecking ball like Tyler Warren. Like when Tyler Warren gets the ball in his hands, like magic happens. I get that, but he does everything else so well. He's still a monster in the passing game, and this offense, in my opinion, does not have to funnel through Loveland, and that's okay. We're not drafting a tight end to funnel our offense through. We have JT, we have Pittman, we have Josh Downs, who a lot of people believe is a top 5 slot receiver in the NFL. We have Alex.
Yes.
A lot of mouth. Yep, here we go. We have a lot of mouths to feed, and this isn't like Brock Bowers on the Raiders, where their only other person that they're throwing to is Jacoby Myers. So we need a day 1 impact player, and Loveland brings that, and he brings a high ceiling along with that. Draft him day 1, call it a night. Colts win the day, and no one argues that this is a bad pick.
So for round 2, we're going to go ahead and pick. Hey, that was spot on. I legit don't have anything to add to that. I think the only thing I will say is, like I talked about before, we talked about him, 80% catch percentage rate. I mean, that tells you right there. If the ball's coming to him, he's going to catch it. Like you mentioned, we don't have to have that little shiny toy in the Tyler Warren where he has to have the ball in his hands. Loveland can get on the field, do what we need to do when we need him to. And that's exactly what we need in Indianapolis. Somebody who can get out there and do what he has to do. Grade A, what you said. I think we win that first round. 100% win the day. Well, you hitting him at number 14 pick.
I didn't even talk about his catch radius. That's a good point. Like, we have probably an inaccurate quarterback under center. So
sure.
that helps out when you're able to catch balls that don't come directly to your hands. So, all right, that was the first round. I think
First
everyone's
round.
happy. We got our tight end. Let's keep it going,
Mhm.
Jamal, with the 45th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Indianapolis Colts select Donovan Jackson, interior offensive lineman, Ohio State. Jamal, you look
Hey,
at the line. Tell me about him.
all I'm gonna tell y'all is, we're talking about a guy who coming out of high school, top ranked guard in the nation, 2021, top ranked guard, dominated while he was at OSU, playing that left guard spot until senior year. Of course, he had to get bumped off the left tackle. That's called being flexible. Offensive line, we need to be flexible. These guys have to know how to play 4 out of the 5 positions on that line. We already talked about that before. I don't expect any of these guys to be able to go play center, but I do expect every guard or tackle to be able to play guard or tackle on both the left or right side. They can be that swing player for us. Massive guy who can pass block and run block. And did I mention availability is the best ability? I think he had like 2,400 snaps total. We know with the loss of having Will Fries, not only due to injury last year, but then of course going to the Vikings this year, we no longer have that guy at that right guard spot. This could be someone who could step in and take that spot. He has an opportunity to come in and play at a high level. Great overall player. And of course, another one I didn't mention, didn't allow a single sack in college football playoff games. So
Mm,
tells you right there, when the pressure is on, when it matters the most, a dog is in the building who's going to come in and hold down the fort. Great player, great versatile player, again, who can be a swing left or right for us, can get in there and fit right into this accordion that we have, who can learn from Quentin, who can learn from Braden, who can learn from Ryman, who can learn from anybody on this offensive line. He comes in, helps elevate this group to another level, and we continue to build on Richardson for protection, because that's what we know Colts need is protection across the board for the quarterback and for the running back. So I think without question, you bring someone like him in, the rest is history.
yeah, when you let Will's Fries go, I mean, you made a decision right there. We got to attack a guard in the
Yep.
draft. You get another immediate impact player here, experience, solid athleticism. He's a smart player, has great length and size. Just a well-rounded player again, just like Loveland, well-rounded player. Perfect boring pick for the Indianapolis Colts here in the
Yep.
second round to replace Will Fries and keep this great offensive line intact. Like you said, Jamal, he's even played tackle. Josh Simmons went down at Ohio State. That man was inserted in, and the rest was history. He played well at the left tackle position. This guy's going to create lanes for Jonathan Taylor to burst through that B gap. Give me Donovan Jackson on day 2, and I'm a happy Colts fan.
Absolutely.
Jamal, let's keep it going with the 80th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Indianapolis Colts select Demetrius Knight Jr., linebacker, South Carolina. I think y'all knew we had to throw a Gamecock in here.
Question.
We had to, for good reason. I think Knight projects as a 3-down backer here, and that's generally how the Colts have played their backers the past few seasons. Zaire was out there. I would say 100% of the snaps. EJ speed kind of basically too. I think Carlisle's would get back there too some, but that could very well change under Lou Anarumo. But he's a great athlete, and we like our athletes. He's good in run defense, good in coverage, really good instincts, just knows where to be at the right time, takes the right angles when he's closing in on opposing players. So, not only that, we've been missing this for a while, but he has a knack for punching the balls out. 3 forced fumbles last season. Is that enough to sell you on Demetrius Knight Jr., Jamal? I think so.
I think so, and it's so funny because my first line I have here for him. I mean, it's talking about a guy 6'1", 210 pounds. I think Shaq was like 6'2", 230. Excuse me, we're gonna say Darius for the sake of this conversation. Darius was 6'2", 230. All right, both have long arms, both physical. Punch the ball out. This is what we need. Someone who's not afraid to drop into coverage. This is what we need. Someone who's quick on his toes. And he can disrupt the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what we need. We lose speed, no worries, no problem. You get Knight out there again. Elevation is what it's about. A guy who is, I think he's 6th year for him, so he's had some time to really mellow and figure out the game, figure out the speed. Then of course you're playing at the highest level on arguably one of the best defenses last year in college. So I think that he already has the skill set to be out there. Put him on there. A lot of people getting hyped over his senior day film. Like Eric said, I mean, we've known about this guy. We watched him week over week all season long. We know he could do. So there's no surprise to us to see where he is right now on our draft board. So
Oh yeah, did in the SEC. biggest conference in college football. Look, tight end, interior offensive lineman, linebacker, already addressed plenty of positions of need in the first 3 rounds, but let's keep it going, Jamal. With the 117th pick in the 2024 NFL draft, so we're in the 4th round, everyone, the Indianapolis Colts select Jonas Sanker, safety, Virginia. Jamal, what you like about him?
This dude is a tackler. I mean, just a downhill tackler. He will hit anybody who steps in his way, and he's gonna get to them and just deliver. And that's what we need. I know we talked about the missed tackles last year. We talked about everything that was going on. Of course, I know a lot of these problems are gonna be fixed for us this upcoming season. But just watching him literally go after anybody who has the ball, closing speed, body awareness, and space. He can watch the QB and react to the QB without losing this assignment. He's gonna make every single thing we need to do. Energy, a leader. I mean, I don't know what else you want out of a player that's going to be coming into an electric secondary for us. It's a whole new secondary we have going on right now with Lou, with Bynum, and Ward and all these guys. So why not go ahead and have somebody who has like that? I don't want to say Nick Cross mindset but I mean, as far as like Nick Cross likes to be out there and deliver blows whenever he can. You bring another guy in just like that who has that same kind of killer instinct. I think it's a great fit for our group.
Yeah. Sanker, he was a combine riser. Like, this guy ranked top 10 among safeties in multiple drills, like the 40-yard dash, broad jump, vertical jump. Versatility is the name of his game, and I think that fits well into the defensive scheme that Anarumo is going to employ. He's a movable chess piece for him, and he has experience playing in the nickel, too high, all of those things. Great fit here in the 4th round. Good size, like you said, Jamal. Great tackler. I like that he can tackle. We missed tackle rate pretty high. So Sanker, I think he's a great depth add to our secondary, potential starter in the future. All right, 5th round. We're about to have some fun here. With the 151st overall pick in the 2025 NFL draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Dillon Gabriel, quarterback, Oregon. Jamal, what? You want me? You want me to defend this pick? You want to defend it? Let me know.
All I'm gonna say first off, we had to let Sam go. Y'all know I'm still salty about that. It's my dog, but I get it. I completely get it. We had to let him go. It's time for him to move on his career. Shout out to him. Hope he gets some good reps out there in Denver. So of course, with letting someone like that go, you gotta draft a QB at this point, because we have to fill that void of what we have for a practice player. And I say that void of a practice player because Dillon Gabriel is not going to be a starter. Let's be clear. Dillon Gabriel is not going to be a starter. However, this man has 63 games under his belt. Talking about seasoned but young. Comes in, still elevates it, brings a side of competition for us that we need, because we know his deep ball game is not that big, but his intermediate game is pretty solid. He can really get the ball out. This is someone who can come in and bring the competition into the room and has a knack for a high-flying offense. So I think he pretty much threw for over 3,000 yards pretty much every season except for one. I think it is something along those lines. 30 to 6 touchdown interception ratio, stuff like that. So he's used to being in pretty good situations. I think that this is a player who can come in and help teach Richardson as well as teach Jones. And hopefully maybe give himself a little playing time. No, I don't expect that to be on Sundays during the regular season, but he could be that new preseason hero for us.
Man, he's older than Richardson too. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, he's up there.
getting drafted like 2 seasons later. Yeah, Jamal, day 3 quarterback pick here. Is if there's even a slight hesitation that you believe Anthony Richardson is not your guy, why not take a late round dart throw at someone who broke Tua Tagovailoa's Hawaii State high school record for career passing yards? Might not mean much, but I think he's an intriguing pick here. I know you said he's not expected to be a starter, but we have 2 quarterbacks ahead of him now that have a significant injury history. Anthony Richardson hasn't played a full season. Daniel Jones has had 2 season-ending injuries with his neck and the ACL tear. He's also had some soft tissue injuries in the past with his hamstring. I'm just saying, there's a realm there. that Gabriel could play a game or two. I'm being completely honest here, but no, a lot of people aren't gonna like this pick, Jamal. Like his measurables are not great. What is he? 5'11". So he's short. He's got short
Or
arms.
Russell.
Yeah, he's got small hands. Like nothing you really want in a quarterback. You're not gonna rise up the draft boards with that. But I just think he's just a well-experienced pocket passer with plus athleticism. He's accurate. I think he could be a good fit in Steichen's system. He has some RPO experience. I would say a lot of it. He can play with rhythm. QB design runs, check. So he's already got that in him. I've comped him to kind of like a left-handed Bo Nix. Like, would you take a left-handed Bo Nix right now? I think you would. Maybe a little bit of Gardner Minshew in there. So when we had Gardner Minshew, the offense kind of shifted a little bit. But you know, we were one play away from the playoffs. I would say he's a little better than Gardner Minshew. But anyway, give the squad a little more competition in the QB room. I just think Gabriel could end up shining if injuries happen. At a minimum, you get a competent backup quarterback, QB2, QB3, replacing Sam Ehlinger.
Can't argue that, dog. Shout out to Sam. That's my boy.
Where is he now?
Denver. Out there with Bo. Yeah.
Interesting.
About to get himself some reps. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if the Colts made a mistake. How about that? With the 189th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Ty Robinson, defensive tackle, Nebraska. I haven't watched a lot of Nebraska football, Jamal. I just know this guy. He's big. He's athletic. He's an experienced interior defensive lineman. We got Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner, of course, getting up there in age. They can still play at a very high level, but, you know, you're always looking towards the future. Raw score, 9.89. I mean, you know, we like those high raw score players. So, pretty good against double teams. Kind of shocked if he's still here in the 6, but this could end up being a steal. Jamal, I know you know about having a low pad level, playing with a low pad level. Can't play too high. Technique will kill you here. But this is a developmental prospect for us. But you can't have too many players in the trenches, so you might as well take him and develop him. But no, he plays too high. A lot of times he gets out leveraged, things like that.
Yeah, I fully agree with what you said. I mean, offer it, Buck and Grover are agents. Like you said, we're going to do something like this. We're going to get a player in there, get a player in here now who plays too high, where Buck and Grove can teach him how to get lower, and they can help develop his game. And you're getting a freebie. You're getting a 2-for-1 out of that, because not only are you going to get a player who's going to develop into what you want him to be based off of your current players, but you're also getting the opportunity to do it for a dirt cheap price at this point. So go ahead and take that to your advantage. He does have decent first steps, and he's a decent bull rusher, but like you mentioned, that pad level, whenever you're that high, you're exposing your chest. It's a losing battle every single time, because that's just free real estate for any offensive lineman. One thing he does decently well is getting his eyes up, even though, and again, that comes with having his chest level so high, but when his eyes are up, he can sometimes kind of shake or break a block, but that's at a collegiate level. You play that game against offensive linemen in the NFL, you're gonna lose that battle every single time. Yep. So something to work on, but he has some traits that can definitely be fine tuned. And then if he can fine tune them the right way, again with the Buck and a Grove at his calling whenever he needs to, this guy could develop into a great player.
That's what I'm hoping. We've had some successful late round picks, and we're hoping for another one here. All right, Jamal, last pick.
Speaking of another potential successful last round pick, Mr. Fintrell Cypress. Oh, sorry. Yep. Yeah, tell the number. I forgot.
232. Oof, we're far in there. 232, 232nd pick in the NFL draft. And like you said, Jamal, Indianapolis Colts select Fintrell Cypress the third. What were you about to say about him?
I mean, what didn't we pick up a player a couple years ago in the 7th round who's playing cornerback who starts now for us? Wasn't that Mr. Jalon Jones, who's a 7th rounder. Now, do I expect Mr. Cypress here to come onto the field as a 7th rounder and earn that starting spot? No. However, we've seen it happen for us in the past. And it's nothing better than having a depth piece. Again, like you mentioned about Nebraska, I did not watch a lot of Florida State football, but based off of some of the film I've seen on him and some of the things I've read, he has some characteristics where he can really lock onto a receiver and make a play on the ball at the last second, which is what we need because we're not interrupting and hand fighting too early to where we're going to get penalties called against us. So seems like a pretty overall player there. And again, a depth piece that I think we could all use because we know that as it's going to happen at some point. We're going to go down a cornerback for some odd reason. So why not get another player in here who can be potentially be a late rounder and come in and do something if we need him to.
Yeah, like you said, Jalen Jones came in, stepped in, presumptive starter as of right now on the outside, and then Kenny Moore, I believe, was undrafted. So and he started nickel. So I'm just saying, like, there's gems in the late rounds. Surprisingly, we don't take a corner until the 7th round, but I would say with the addition of Charvarius Ford, that need kind of went down the list a little bit. I think it's still a priority to get some depth pieces in there and try to get 2 lockdown corners. But a lot of our corners that we liked in this draft, in this mock draft, were taken when it was time to select. So anyway, another great tackler here. Very low missed tackle rate. Plays with a lot of toughness. Probably better in zone than man coverage. So he's probably a little more scheme specific. But he had 27 pass breakups over the last 3 seasons. I think just he's a good depth piece right now because, as you know, Jamal, injuries seem to plague this team year in, year out. So you had Fentrell Cypress the third, and that's it. 7 picks in. So Colston Loveland, Donovan Jackson, Demetrius Knight Jr., Jonas Sanker, Dillon Gabriel, Ty Robinson, and Fentrell Cypress the third. That rounds out our final mock draft for the Indianapolis Colts. I'm sad. We might have to do a final 2.0, Jamal. I can't go out like that.
Yeah, you're gonna be dropping one on April the 23rd at midnight. This is the final one.
No, I think this is it for mock drafts. But everyone, Colts Nation, let us know what you think. I know we're gonna get a lot of different opinions on this mock draft, but we like to have fun with it. This is just our opinion. Don't grill us too much for it. But of course, let us know what you think in the comments and what we could have done better, what you really like. Just talk about it. That's what we love.
Absolutely.
That's all I got.
That's it from me too.
That's going to be it for us, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Colts Cast. We are live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts. And we'll be back next time to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content. Y'all take care.
Take it easy.